Hi, I'm Tiffany Domino. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my website is howtoentrepreneur.org, and my mission is to help you grow a business from idea to enterprise. So if you or someone you know wants to start or grow a business, definitely stop by howtoentrepreneur.org and check out my free course. It's a framework to help you grow your business from idea to enterprise. So today I want to talk to you about Magic Johnson's biography and some quotes. Now, Magic Johnson had more than one profession. He was in basketball and he was in business, or he is in business. So I want to talk to you about quotes that he has that stimulated his mindset so that he could be successful in both basketball and business. So if you're looking for Magic Johnson's biography with actionable takeaways to help level up your business, you're in the right place. Here you'll get a biography of Magic Johnson, quotes, book recommendations, and my goal here is to inspire you in your business. So, the professional world has many people in it. Some have noble character and some are sharks. It is what it is. The people with noble character will teach you about diligence, about hard work, about purposeful living, about family values, how to be a good asset to others, to be good leaders and team players, and so many other things that result in a good reputation and memorable legacy after you're gone from here. Alternatively, people who are sharks teach you to gossip, to be greedy, to create discord and drama, to lie, cheat, ignore your family, to ruin others' families and relationships, to see how much you can get from people, to live for money or material things, to adopt unhealthy practices, to be bad leaders and team players, and ultimately you create a bad reputation with trails of stories where people were encouraged to do bad things. You might be thinking that this sounds a little extreme, but if you think about it, if you're taught one small behavior, like to sell people quick products instead of effective ones, and you spend your personal time going out with friends, what are you saying about quality and family values? So you want to do both. You want to create effective products, and you want to make sure that your family values and your business values are in line, and that they're not in competition, or that they're not opposite. You're not giving customers the best, and you're ignoring your family to place emphasis on your work and recreation. This happens a lot. And then when the compound effect sets in, a behavior that may seem small and nominal becomes game-changing. So I did a video a couple days ago about Darren Hardy's compound effect, and you should definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. In there, I talk about how small choices that we make on a day-to-day basis pile up, and he said it takes 2 years to see the real consequences of our choices if we take on new habits. So that happens either whether the habit is bad or whether the habit is good. If you do something today, you might think you're exempt from the consequences, but if you continue to do that same habit every day, you'll start to see the results of it over time. So if you decide to create quick products that are low quality, the results of that compound effect will turn around, and you'll start to see the results of it over time, and it'll affect your reputation. And if you decide to put your family to the side and not give them the time that they deserve, or to focus all of your time and energy on your business, there's lots of successful entrepreneurs without families who will tell you that they regret making that decision. So a negative personal or professional spiral is so easy to get caught in. Having a reputation as a dishonest business person doesn't usually start with one little lie. It's usually one lie that turns into two, that turns into three, then it becomes a widespread habit. The sharks out there sell these small, seemingly nominal behaviors so well, they make selling crappy products sound like the way to go. They make being lazy, working very little to make large sums of money without really giving value, sound like the optimal path. Added to that, not all of us are lucky enough to know what we want to be from early on. Some of us take years and years of experimentation before we decide which profession will best exploit our skills. We might start out in one career field and climb the ladders to a certain level, then later decide this career field isn't a good fit for me. Some people stay put for years in career fields they know aren't a good fit. In fact, stats show that 60% of employees would choose a different career if they could start again. 20% of us believe we've never had a role that suited us, and 30% of employees feel their strengths would be better suited to another career. That's a lot of people who never feel the ultimate satisfaction of an enjoyable profession. Others don't have the chance to stay in a job being complacent. Either they're miserable to the point they choose to make the hard choice to start over in a new career field, or they're abruptly shifted due to health, layoffs, relocation, family issues, or otherwise. And career change can be very hard. Some people will have to start at the bottom of the totem pole, acting almost as if they never worked anywhere. After having a job with one income level, they have to make a switch, sometimes losing out on tens of thousands of dollars per year. Even worse, if they weren't careful with their spending and accumulation of their expenses before their change in careers, they can have years of struggle as they try to figure out how to keep their debts, needs, and wants afloat. The career change can be an emotional roller coaster, and you might wonder how you can get past it into stability. Then, when you see advice from sharks saying, do this quick tactic and you'll make money fast, your desperation can lead you into some very shady paths, especially if you don't have an example of someone who mastered two professions like Magic Johnson. So who is Magic Johnson? Let's go into his biography. So after being diagnosed with the HIV virus in 1991, basketball icon Earvin Magic Johnson was abruptly thrust out of his successful basketball career in the NBA into his long-time admired field of entrepreneurship. He made the decision to retire after receiving 3 NBA MVP awards and many other notable accomplishments over the course of his career. He dominated the court as one of America's best basketball players for 12 years, but he needed to end that endeavor to focus on his health, his family as a newlywed and expectant father, and his life as a new businessman. It was a lot of change that happened for him in 1991, but Magic Johnson prevailed. Many onlookers thought he was crazy, the announcement of his retirement was unexpected, and he didn't always make the most business-savvy decisions, but similar to others who changed careers, there are some growing pains. Magic didn't allow the learning curve, the public humiliation, or the transitions in his personal life, learning to be a husband and father, stop him from pursuing success in a second and very different career field. So, Magic Johnson was born in Lansing, Michigan on August 15, 1959 as the 7th child of 9. Magic was raised to know more than average about personalities, competition, work ethic, individuality, and how to come adversity. His father, Irvin Sr., worked 3 jobs to take care of his family, and his mother, Christian Johnson, worked at the school cafeteria. With 9 kids, they had their share of obstacles to overcome to ensure everyone had food, clothes, meals, and recreation, but they succeeded on many fronts and taught a plethora of lessons Magic credits them for along the way. He describes his parents' stressed education and sports, but made education the first priority requirement. They didn't push him to choose a specified career path, so his siblings have professions like teachers and factory workers, but Magic had a drive to pursue basketball and entrepreneurship. So, As far as his adult life, after an iconic span of championships all through high school, then following him into college, Magic was drafted first overall in 1979 by the Los Angeles Lakers. Johnson says one of the most amazing things about being drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers was playing along Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who became the NBA's leading scorer in NBA history. During his career in the NBA, Johnson acquired several notable accomplishments, including he's the only NBA player in history to win an MVP award as a rookie in his first year in the NBA. He has 3 NBA Finals, NBA Final MVP awards. He has 5 NBA championships. He has 4 NBA runner-ups. He has 8 NBA Final assist leaders. He holds the all-time record for highest career assists per game. His average is 11.2. He holds the all-time record for most assists in the playoffs, and that's 2,346. Johnson is also the only player in NBA history to have at least 2,000 assists in a playoff career. He holds the all-time record for highest assists per game, average in the playoffs at 12.4. He holds the all-time record for most triple-doubles in the playoffs at 30. But not only did Magic Johnson have an amazing career in basketball, but he's taken it to the next level with his career as a businessman. So some things about him and his time as an entrepreneur. In 1987, Magic Johnson founded Magic Johnson Enterprises, a billion-dollar business conglomerate that includes Aspire, a television network, the Magic Johnson Theaters, the Burger King restaurants, health clubs, Magic Johnson Bridgescape academies to help high school dropouts get diplomas, Clear Health Alliance to help HIV and AIDS patients to get the care they need. He previously owned 105 Starbucks. He previously owned 4.5% of the Lakers. He participated as an investor to purchase the Los Angeles Dodgers for $2.15 billion, and Magic has grown his company to be worth $1 billion and his net worth to $500 million. He's known as one of the most successful black businessmen in the U.S. and one of 5 on the Fortune 500 list. So he's done some amazing things, really breaking a lot of historic trends, both on the side of basketball and on the side of business. So it's really interesting to understand his mindset and to understand the the mantras that he would be saying to himself, or the philosophies that he has that stimulated him into this level of success. So that's why I have these quotes here, so that we can use these to really understand more about the thinking and the logic behind the success that we've been able to demonstrate in his biography. So these are some quotes from Magic Johnson. And the first one says, the same principles really apply from being a basketball player as well as a CEO. When you think about focus, strategy, discipline, so I'm still the same guy that has those same principles as a CEO. So basically, focus, strategy, and discipline are really important to both basketball and to business. So that's something we should really take away, is learning how to focus more, learning how to strategize better, learning how to be more disciplined can help us if we want to be good basketball players or if we want to be good in business. He says, I took that same competitive spirit to the boardroom as well. So he takes that competition. You know how you're competitive on the basketball court and you're trying to beat your competitors, but the competition also helps to raise the skill level of each team, because each team is trying to beat the other one. So it really brings out a different level of potential in both of them. And so he says he took the same competitive spirit into business. So he says, I'm a perfectionist. I was a perfectionist as a basketball player. I did the same drills over and over and over. And I think a lot of people don't believe that the fundamentals of business are really important and that they need the same level of practice that they would as a basketball player. But really, business is not an overnight thing. And there's lots of people who will tell you otherwise. They'll tell you that you can just press a button or pop up, create a product, or they tell you all kinds of things about how to develop business, or how to build a business, how to grow a business, how to develop a business. But really, business, a huge part of it is about practicing, about improving, about mastering skills. And those things take time. It's also about habit change and creating habits that will help to grow a business. It's about serving others and creating value. So many different things that you get better and better and better at. And those are like business fundamentals that you have to continue to drill and continue to practice. He said, I'm a guy who's going to get there early. I'm a professional. So he's very into being punctual, into managing your time, into prioritizing things. And so that's also a really important skill, because he says that he put that together with being a professional. So being able to manage your time, being able to prioritize appropriately, being able to present yourself in a timely fashion, those are all professional skills. He said, I asked Dr. Butts, I said, my dream is not to win championships, but I want to become a businessman. He said, let me say it again. I asked Dr. Butts, I said, my dream is not just to win championships, but I want to become a businessman after my career with the Lakers. And he took me under his wing and became my mentor. So mentorship is so vital. Finding someone who's already doing what you want to do and like following their lead, using their template, allowing them to give you feedback so that you can improve your results. All of this is so important to really building a successful business. So he wasn't just shooting in the dark trying to figure out how to make business work. That was something that probably hugely propelled him into his second career field as an entrepreneur, because he was able to learn from Dr. Butts. He said, I called the PR man from the Lakers and I told him I want to know all the people from the floor. So I cold called 20 people and said, would you go to lunch with me? I picked their brain about business and what made them successful, and I incorporated that into my own style. So he was able to observe people that he thought were successful and people that had signs of success, and he took those observations and made it his mission to contact them, to meet with them, and to glean from them what could make him more successful. And so that is so key, how important he thought of mentorship, because and he wasn't I've talked before on How to Entrepreneur about the fear of rejection and different things, but sometimes you have to just be bold and you have to just approach some things that you might be fearful of. I'm sure it sounds like he didn't personally know these people if he had to cold call them. So he may have thought, what are these people going to think when I call them? But I mean, he did have a reputation, but still, these people didn't know him directly, and he decided to put all of that aside and to still attempt to call them and to find out if they'll be willing to share and be generous with their ideas about how to be what made them successful. And so I would say that it's also important for you, if you're trying to grow your business, to reach out to people who have signs of success and to try to glean from them, try to learn from them, and be willing to give first, because you don't want to come to them and say, hey, tell me everything you know about being successful. So try to give value, try to find out how you can make a relationship with them so that you can learn from them. He said, first they said I wouldn't be able to play point guard at 6'9". Then I proved them wrong. Then they said I couldn't go to the basketball court. I couldn't go to the basketball court to the boardroom, and it's been my pleasure proving them wrong again. So he had naysayers. He had people who were critical of what he wanted to do, and he had people that doubted him and that possibly even wanted to see him fail. But he didn't let that stop him from going ahead and pursuing his goals. And I think that's so important, to sometimes be stubborn about your goals and where you want to go in life, that sometimes people, they have their own fears and their own paradigms and their own presuppositions. And sometimes it's helpful to listen to what they're saying, but sometimes you have to decide to listen, but protect yourself for pursuing it anyway. And so it looks like he may have done that. It looks like he probably took that into consideration, that, yeah, I'm 6'9". Maybe point guard might be a little harder for me to get, but guess what? I'm going to have to make a different advantage for myself, because I'm still going to pursue that point guard position. And he probably did the same thing when it came to going into business. Maybe I have been in basketball for the last, so and so amount of years, and maybe it is difficult for a lot of people to go from basketball into entrepreneurship. But guess what? I'm going to have to prepare myself that much more so that I can be successful in both. And I think that's really key. So in a previous video that I did, I talked about using your fears as fuel for preparation instead of as a way to turn away and to go and do something else. So in this case, I would say that when you have these naysayers and they're telling you what you can and you can't do, but you really feel your instincts are telling you to do it anyway, and that this is something you really should or are supposed to do, then use those fears, use what they're telling you about as fuel to prepare. Just prepare better, because it is possible that you may face obstacles like what they're saying, but it's not impossible for you to achieve your goals. And if you really believe that you can, go for it. He says basketball prepared me for the boardroom, no doubt about it. And we each have our own backgrounds, and maybe we don't feel like they're completely relevant with what we're trying to do in the future, but still, like, those are all our stages of preparation that we go through. And a lot of times we don't know how all the pieces are supposed to fit together in the puzzle, but they sure can. So in his case, basketball helped to prepare him because it taught him focus, discipline, and strategy, and different things like that. But for you, it may be something different. So try to find what experiences you can leverage and bring into your future so that you can be more prepared for your goals as a result. He said, what made me a good basketball player didn't make me a good CEO. So sometimes you may have to develop new skills. Sometimes you may have to develop new skills, and that's okay. So for Magic, he's admitted here that what made him a good basketball player didn't necessarily make him a good CEO. And so he probably had to learn and adapt and acquire those new skills. And so just be ready to continue learning, because entrepreneurship, in order to continue growing and leveling up, you will have to continually learn and develop new skills. And he says somebody is finally going to say no to you. So rejection is bound to happen. Don't fear it. Just know it's bound to happen somewhere down the line. But keep going. And he says you have to have a thirst for knowledge. And I said this, before, but definitely continue learning. So some takeaways that we can get from these quotes are to honor other people's time. He talked about being punctual as a sign of professionalism. And part of the reason is because other people, time is finite. You only have so much of it. And everybody's life has a value, it has a purpose, and it's not necessarily just for you or just for me. So we should honor that, honor their time, and do our best to keep our word. If we say we're going to show up for an appointment, show up for the appointment and value the other person's time. He says, get mentorship. So we talked about how he got mentorship from Dr. Butts, and he also saw signs of success from people who were on the ground floor during the basketball games, and he decided to reach out to them and try to find out how he could be more successful or what their keys were for success. And so definitely seek mentorship. He talked about applying focus, strategy, and discipline to become successful. And this translates into so many things. This translates into how you use your time. And I'm guilty of it too. How many tabs we keep open on the computer and we're trying to switch from one to the other. How many products we're trying to launch at the same time. We might be trying to launch several things. But sometimes it's important to just focus and to exert your energy toward one thing at a time. And it may be difficult to do. I know a lot of us are very creative. We're very excited about being a part of the marketplace. We feel that we have maybe lots to offer, lots of problems that we want to solve. So many reasons why you can get into being unfocused. But for him, he's saying focus is one key strategy to help with growing in business and in basketball. And then moving strategically instead of, there's other alternative ways that people decide to jump from thing to thing. Sometimes they follow the trends. They'll see, well, lots of people are doing this, so maybe I should do this. Lots of people are creating this, so maybe I should create this. And so instead, it's best to create a plan for your business, create a customer journey map, create a strategy for how you're going to develop your business, and go from inside out instead of outside external influences in. And then he talks also about discipline as well. And discipline is doing what needs to be done regardless of if you want to, and it's pushing your willpower, to do what needs to be done. So those are all three things. And so he says, number 4, don't forget the marketplace is a competition. And this is my paraphrase, okay? Don't forget the marketplace is a competition. So if you are in the restaurant industry and you're creating cheeseburgers, there's other people creating cheeseburgers, and you have to figure out, you have to remember that. You have to remember that the marketplace is a competition. If you're a blogger, if you're a YouTuber, whatever the case is, there's other people out there, and some of them are your competitors. And there's one resource that everybody's trying to get a hold of, and that's attention. So you have to just remember these things when you're in business. Not that you're trying to lift yourself up to tear other people down, but at the same time, you need to be operating at your max potential, and you need to be trying to stay differentiated so that you can handle the competition. And also, the competition that's around you should be encouraging. It should be a healthy encouragement to continue leveling up instead of creating any type of negative emotion like insecurity or something like that. He also talked about staying thirsty for knowledge. He talked about leveraging your present circumstances to build your future. So right now, maybe whatever it is that you're doing, using that experience to build your future. He talked about don't shy away because of naysayers, prove them wrong, and be ready for rejection. So I've created a playlist with different videos about Magic Johnson because to me he's a really inspirational person to watch. He has many great life lessons to teach, from maintaining big dreams even in poverty to dealing with chronic disease in the spotlight and lots of other things. So I think he's a really interesting entrepreneur and business person to watch. And these are some recommendations that I have if you want to learn more about Magic Johnson. He has a book called 32 Ways to Become a Champion in Business. And I've included that here. All of the link to this article will be in the description box below. If you decide to stop by How to Entrepreneur, you can just click on these images and you'll be taken to Amazon, where you'll be able to purchase these materials. He also has a book called Believing in Magic by his wife, Cookie Johnson. And so both of these are really interesting books. So as some final words, the goal of this video was to show you an example of a very successful entrepreneur who overcame many challenges like career change, parenthood, marriage, celebrity life, having naysayers, and so much more. And Magic is an example to prove that you can be successful in multiple careers and that you can overcome career change. If you have questions or concerns about this, definitely leave them in the comment section below. I would love to help you out. And if you'd like to start or scale your business, definitely check out my free e-course here. It's a framework to grow your business from idea to enterprise. So now I want to hear from you in the comment section below. Let me know, what is your favorite Magic Johnson quote? What did you learn from his life story? What takeaways did you get from this video? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I would love to have a conversation with you. So that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more like it, where I talk about product and service reviews, buyer's guides, and growth strategies to help you grow your business from idea to enterprise, definitely subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon so you can be notified of upcoming videos. That's all I have. So have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.